What's up, guys? Welcome to Fett. I feel like I'm introducing like a nightclub or something, but yeah, welcome to Project Potter, guys. My name is Kyle, your host. If you haven't been to the channel before, welcome, guys. We got the Boba Jin half and half shirt, guys. We're here, the pilot episode of the Book of Boba Fett Disney Plus series. Jon Favreau, man. I mean, this motherfucker just keeps making hits. He just knows how to make it. This is obviously the pilot episode of the show, guys. Go check out the other content on the channel, of course. Appreciate you guys. My name is Kyle, your host. And I'm just going to do a quick recap, guys, of what I thought of the episode. This is episode 1, kind of my favorite scenes, and a score out of 10, similar to my other reviews, guys. And here we go. Okay, guys, so episode 1 of the Book of Boba Fett. I was going into this series, and I was like, how much are they going to address the Sarlacc Pit? How much are we going to find out about Boba? Like, because everyone knows he fell into the Sarlacc Pit in Return of the Jedi, and then he came back in Mandalorian. I was like, oh, we'll probably get a little bit. Bro, we jump right in. We jump right into Boba, and he's like in the Sarlacc Pit. And I was like, oh my God, let's go, dude. It's really, really cool. It looks gross. We get an awesome shot of a stormtrooper that's like been killed in there forever. My one critique of this scene is that I would have liked to see a little bit more. Like, we saw him struggle, and he takes like the dead stormtrooper's like air, I think, and puts it in because he was like pretty much dying. And then he, uses his awesome flamethrower on his wrist, and then we see him emerge from the sand, which is amazing. But I would have liked to see a little bit more of him like struggling or working through. It was basically like, oh, this is what he's doing, and then he was just at the top. And I was like, all right, and we get it because he falls and he's like out of energy. So clearly it took like all of his strength to get out. But that was really awesome, guys. And then what I love about this is that Boba crashes there. And then the freaking Jawas come over, man. The Jawas just stealing everything. Just somehow in all of the most important places on Tatooine all the time. So they come over in their sand roller. Everyone loves the Jawas, of course. And they just strip Boba of all of his armor. And he's like so like devoid of energy that he goes and grabs like the sand people. Not the sand people, sorry. The Jawa. And the Jawa just knocks him out. And then so he's just Boba without his armor. And then the sand people come, dude, and they take him hostage. And then they just drag him across. And I was like, this is cool, dude, because we see the legendary bounty hunter, Boba, and he's just being dragged across. I forget if it's before or after this, but we do see Boba in a rejuvenation chamber, like straight out of DBZ, dude, where he's got a mask. It looks really cool. Fennec eventually comes over and is like, boss, time to wake up. But we see Boba having like these flashbacks in here where he goes to the rain planet on Attack of the Clones, I forget what it's called. Then he gets flashback to young Boba holding his dad Jango's head from Attack of the Clones, and there at the end where he's just holding his dead father's head. And he's just having all these flashbacks. It's really, really cool to get these classic iconic moments in this series and to see that like this is still the character that like we know and love. What I really like about this episode though, guys, is that we get to see Boba out of the armor. We don't get to see him doing badass moves. We get to see the warrior within and mostly the person within where, there's a great scene where he goes through and he's going around and he's like visiting all of the businesses and stuff around here. And Fennec's like, oh, you should ride around on these things. That's what Jabba did. And he's like, I'm not like Jabba. And she's like, well, you shouldn't walk around because Jabba never left the palace. And he's like, okay, well, I am leaving the palace. And he says, like, Jabba ruled with fear. I want to rule with respect. And I'm like, oh, this is really awesome, dude. It's like a quick battle scene where these guys with like the shields that look like they're from Phantom Menace. Same technology, I don't know, maybe the big screen that comes down. They're coming over there, and it's like a real challenge because Boba, first of all, he takes his helmet off a couple times, which is nice because he's just trying to be around the people. And they fill his helmet up with coins, and she's like, oh, yours is shinier than mine. And it's just, he's like just a good dude. But he's like, I just want to let you know your business is going to be thriving while I'm in charge. And they're like, thank you, Lord Fett. I'm like, dude, Lord Fett is the coolest thing I've ever heard. And so they get attacked, and they actually get help from I think they're the Gamorreans, like, because he spares them. And they're talking about how, like, if Jabba was here, he would have sent you down to the pit. And he's like, well, dude, I'm not. He's trying to be more forgiving Lord, where he's like, I'm not Jabba. And so he takes them and he's like, will you be loyal to me? And then they end up saving him in the fight. And then we get the cut back to the flashbacks or like the time where he's with the sand people. And then a lot of the episode focuses on how he's like held captive. And there's a good dude that looks like Greedo, but he's not. He's the same race. And so he's like, oh, you want me to cut your things free? And then he screams and stuff. And I don't want to go plot for plot on it, guys, but basically eventually it leads to him going and fighting this awesome creature, dude. Like this fucking thing with like all these arms, just an amazing creature I don't think we've seen before that like erupts out of the sand. It's so cool. He takes it down and then like they cut off his head and brings it back to the sand people. And then at the end, guys, it ends where they're like all excited and he gets his drink and because he's like, I want a drink. And the little sand person is like teasing him. I was like, what a dick, dude. And that's why he like takes the stick when he goes to hit him with it. But at the end, dude, he just takes his drink and he goes, ah, and then it just ends, dude. And like the fucking score hits. And I was like, God damn, dude. Like Jon Favreau, he just knows exactly what we want. And he knows Star Wars so well. And I don't know if Dave Filoni is working on this too, but I was like, is this going to be too similar to Mando? But I'm like, I love that it's the same universe, but it's just different enough where like scenes with Boba talking in the helmet, I thought were a little similar to Jin. But then I was like, it's different enough where I can tell. And I like that his personality is different. He takes his helmet off, obviously, a lot more. So really, really awesome stuff. But the most impressive thing, guys, is that Boba does all of this without his armor. All of the cool fighting we see is when he didn't have his armor. We found out from Mandalorian, I think, how he got that armor back. But I think it's really, really awesome that he like shows just how awesome of a warrior he is and how strong he is just without the armor. So awesome stuff, guys. First score for this one. This is a 9-3. I thought it was excellent, dude. I was immediately when the credits ended, I was like, oh my God, I'm ready for the next one, dude, right away. Like, and nothing can really top the Mandalorian score, but Boba's got his own theme in here. I thought it was awesome. And I just think he's such a badass character. And we finally are getting like some personality with Boba, and he's not just a cool costume anymore. Like, because as cool as Boba was, he didn't do anything in the original trilogy. We saw him for like 2 scenes and he never said anything, dude. So the idea of Boba was a lot cooler than Boba itself. So we saw some action, awesome action in Mandalorian, and then this is building up on that. And Fennec is awesome too. So I think it's really, really cool. And obviously I like the different dynamic where it's like Boba thinks he can just walk around and be open, and it's like he's going to get ambushed. People are going to attack him. Like, you can't just walk around like leaving yourself open. It's like people are going to come after you. So I really like that he has a different approach, but also that he's got to be a little careful. And, but he's obviously got the fighting skills in Fennec too. So interesting to see where that goes. And I'm interested to see like who kind of opposes Boba and who's like the main villain in this episode, because this was very much like a catch-up episode. Like, this is what happened when Boba went to the Sarlacc Pit, and then how he lost his armor and how he like got himself back and all that. So this is almost like a prologue, and I want to see what's in store for next week. But yeah, guys, I'm 100% in. It's the first episode of Fett. Again, not a nightclub, but the name of the series, guys. So thanks for checking out Project Potter. Appreciate you guys. These are going to be pretty quick. Hope you guys enjoyed my thoughts. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm really excited for the rest of this series. So, and again, praise be to Jon Favreau, dude. The guy just knows how to do it. So, yeah, till next time, guys. Peace.